This week on the news at Rider.
The Gay Straight Alliance hosts a variety show.
Rider holds a blood drive.
And comedian Mike DiStefano performs on campus.
All this and more on the news at Rider. Welcome to the News at Rider. I'm Kevin Rafferty.
And I'm Nicole Lawrence. World AIDS Day was this past week, and Rider honored this day with a performance by a comedian whose life was personally touched by substance abuse and AIDS. Tony Pernice was there and caught all the action.
I find that I'm just funny, and I've always just been funny. So when AIDS came into my life, it started when friends, were diagnosed in the 80s, and I got involved back then to help, be a part of the solution to helping people live with AIDS. And, it was a lot different back then. There was not much you could do. People got sick pretty quickly. And as time went on, I got, to know a lot about it. And then I found out myself that I was positive when I was 22. And, I just, changed my life so much that I stayed committed to educating people, but comedy I was just always funny. So I went through a bunch of different jobs and finally found doing comedy was the best way to, get my message across to people.
I know you've said about all your different messages, but if you can say one message to the college students you're about to see, what would the message be?
Just one message?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, that's not easy. Everybody wants things to be simple and just sort of one-dimensional. But none of them are all. I guess self-acceptance would probably be the key message that I would want to give to everyone. Because when you accept yourself as you are, you're less likely to want to hurt yourself and put yourself, at risk to, messing your life up.
If you would like to learn more about Mike DiStefano, please visit his website, www.puppiesandheroin.com.
Recently, veteran sportscaster Neal Hartman visited Rider to talk to students about what it is like to work in the sports broadcasting industry. The News at Rider was there to cover the event.
With the recent economic recession, graduates have been struggling to find jobs. Sports broadcaster Neal Hartman spoke to students about his experience in the industry. He also spoke about how they can get their foot in the door and make their job search that much easier.
Our coordinating producer is a former intern. He made an impression. We bring him in. He makes another impression. Then he keeps, and there's another guy named Sean Kane that came in here. You knew like that, instantly. This guy was sharp. Now he's one of our lead producers.
The one thing you have to tell anybody in college that wants to get into any business, but in the broadcast business, is internships, relationships. This is the one way you're going to find the best opportunity to get a foot in the door, because everyone says, well, how do I get my foot in the door? I don't have any practical experience. You have to get the internships. That's where you'll develop the relationships, and that'll help you down the road. So that's my number one suggestion to any college student.
As your graduates leave Rider, for example, and excel, it enhances the reputation of this school. So as you do well, it does well for the reputation of the school. So yes, a degree from where you go to school, trust me, that Rider degree is a lot better than Bucks County Community College. When you want to get a job in this business, I'm telling you right now, you need to develop a relationship with somebody in the business. Don't worry about how much money you're making when you first start out. Now, it's easy for me to say, I do make a very good living. I'm very grateful. I'm not going to tell you how much money I make now. However, the point is, I never worried about money. Don't worry about the money. If you like it, if you're passionate about it, you will do well, you will succeed, you will make more money.
Great opportunity. I mean, I love the turnout, and I know they all showed up because of the free food, but it was great to have them listen to what we had to say. And I think it's important that they hear from somebody in the industry, talk about the business, because you can learn something in a classroom, you can work on a TV station at your college, but I think to hear somebody talk about their experiences and what it's like, what it's really like in the business, I hope they got something out of it. I certainly did. It was nice to hear their questions and be able to talk to them.
For the News at Rider, this has been Nicole Lawrence.
There has recently been a change in the Rider Safe Ride program that may cost students. Due to the abuse of the program, students who overuse this service will have a $25 charge added to their MyInfo account.
Last month, the News at Rider took a visit to local radio station in Philadelphia. Bob Giaquinto interviewed 2 of the DJs, and it took a look at the ins and outs of professional radio. Here's Bob with more.
So what made you interested in going into radio?
When I was a little kid, I was about 8, 9 years old, and I used to stay up late at night reading books, listening to the guys on the radio, and kind of went from there. Be prepared, read as much as you can, practice your writing. If you want to be on the air in radio, I would say even practice being on the air while you're in the shower, while you're doing stuff. Every time you hear one song go out into a new song when you're listening to the radio, how would you sell that to the listener? Practice doing that and do your breaks to yourself. I know your friends will think you're crazy because you're talking to yourself, but it's a good way to get comfortable. Also, if you're doing college radio at your radio station there, and you still feel a little nervous on the mic, put a picture up of somebody you enjoy talking to right across from you where you speak and look at them, and therefore you feel like you're talking to one person, and it's a real helpful way to become relaxed and sound natural on the air.
I had a creative writing teacher who told me I had a big mouth, I swear to God. And she used to, when I was a senior in high school, she used to slide me broadcasting schools, like pamphlets from different broadcasting schools and programs at different universities, and said, you should get into radio. I was like, yeah, and you know what? I had no interest in radio until she started doing that, and I was like, yeah, maybe. This would be kind of cool. And that's where it started, yeah.
So where did you study, or did you?
I took 2 years of pre-med, and then I got a job at a radio station in sales, because I thought if I was going to do it, I just had to get my foot in the door somehow. I don't sell well, so I was fired within 3 months. I went back to college, continued with pre-med. I wanted to be a doctor. And then when I was in college, somebody offered me a part-time job on a radio station. Then it just kind of stuck.
That's pretty cool.
And yeah, then I stuck with it. Just kept doing it.
Do you have any advice for aspiring on-air personalities?
Yeah. If it's something you really, really want to do, it's a long, hard road. Because there's only so many jobs, and the industry is actually shrinking and consolidating. So there's even less jobs today than there were when I got into it, and it was tough when I got into it. But if you really want to do it, you just got to stick with it. You just don't quit. It's just something I traveled all over the country and worked at some crap stations in some crap towns for years on end, just to stay in the business and just to keep doing it, to ultimately end up where you want to end up and do what you want to do. So if you stick with it long enough, it'll work. My brother's also in radio. He programs. He's on the programming side. Wears a tie, and programs some stations just outside of Minneapolis in Minnesota. And we both got in about the same time and just stuck with it. But everybody we started radio with in the very beginning is no longer doing it. I mean, they drop like flies. So if it's something you really, really want to do, you just got to stick with it. But that's true of anything, right? Yeah.
All right, for Run 100, this is Bob Giaquinto.
Run 100.
For more information on WMMR, please visit WMMR.com. Or if you would like to get involved in Rider's radio station, go to www.rider.edu/studentlife/107.7 The Bronx. That's all the time we have for today. I'm Kevin Rafferty.
And I'm Nicole Lawrence. See you next time on the News at Rider.
Have a great day.